Yeah, I know. Everything's awful. I mean, it. I mean, it is live, but I'm also not recording locally, so this is just awfully fitting.
Fuck it, we'll do it live.
Fuck it, goddamn it! But I need the audio recording so people can just listen to our wonderful voices in the darkness right now. In the darkness. Why won't you record anymore? I don't understand. I have been betrayed. What is your problem? No. Just record. I have a very large complaint, Nathan.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, I have the massive amounts of complaints. For some reason, Adobe Audition that we use to record the audio to post to the audio-only people, it won't do anything.
Well,
this is one of the things that I did test
that
before
fucking sucks.
Oh, so now it works. I just had to complain enough. All right. Anyway, so I'm gonna hit record and start the intro now. You ready? You ready?
I have been.
Okay, cool. Let's do this. Hello, everyone, and welcome to iReadit, bringing you your daily dose of the internet for Monday. It's definitely a Monday, August 13th, 2018. I am Michael Schwahn.
And I am Juan de Hatatime.
Oh my god, it's amazing. Please remember, everyone, you can help support the show by going to patreon.com or going and checking out that merchandise link down below. We do have a new piece of merchandise for you today, and that is the Puns Are Us shirt. It is available right now in the link down below. You can also find it in the show notes wherever you're looking at it for, or you can just go to the iReadit Emporium on Teespring. And that is the Puns Are Us shirt, because you might hear us say this a lot.
It's a pun!
And I'm so glad that worked, because everything else didn't. But anyway, that is available right now if you would like it. It is not only available in blue, it is also available in black, red, green, and purple. But
black's pretty good.
But the signature is the blue there. So,
yeah.
In any case, if you would like to pick that up for yourself, do so freely and at any opportunity that you have to do so. Otherwise, we are back after almost being gone for an entire month. We are 5 days away from being gone for an entire month. So, yeah, that was quite a break.
It was a vacation, you know?
It was quite a vacation. So, I'm not... Is your microphone not actually in front of you? You sound far away.
No, it is, like, right here.
That is not... Nope. Mm-mm. You're wrong. I mean, that is a microphone. It is right there, but that is not the audio.
Is it using my... I'm going to tinker with some settings now.
That is using your webcam.
Yeah, probably.
Everything is great today. Everything is fantastic.
Yeah, it is using my webcam. That's better.
No, it's not.
It says Yeti.
Oh, there we go. There we go. Well, initially you sounded like a skipping record. It didn't come through very clear.
A new update is available for Skype.
Yay! I just had to update XSplit, and then it was like, by the way, you need to update your plugins. And so I tried to update my plugins, and it was like, you know what? We don't have a Facebook Live plugin anymore. And I'm like, wait. And then it was like, just kidding. We just had to delete the one you had, and now you download a new one, and now it will work. And that's why we're 15 minutes late.
Since when?
Yeah, I hate XSplit. Like, they're so they're the type of program that tries to be helpful, and everything that they do to try to be helpful is impossibly unhelpful.
Yeah. That sounds like 90% of things that update.
Yeah. So, Mr. Day at a time.
Day at a time.
Day at a time. How are
you have to say the ha. You have to get the ha in there.
At a time.
That is part of my name, yes.
At a time.
Ha. It is there. Ha. At a time.
At a time.
At a time.
Hat a time.
At a time.
How are you, sir?
All right.
Yeah? How have you been for the last month?
I've been all right. Yesterday was my brother's birthday, so I went over to there and I hung out. I only got to hang out for like 2 hours because Sunday bus schedules suck.
Yeah, I believe that.
couple things happened over the break. Like my uncle died, which was unfortunate.
Damn. Okay. I'm sorry to hear that.
You know, it happens. Life is life. But you know, just things. I've been fairly neutral, as you know, I've always been and will always continue to be.
Yeah.
I am the embodiment. I am the elemental embodiment of Switzerland.
I don't know if that's entirely true.
Completely neutral.
Until I bring up a couple different topics, and then you get very aggressive.
Yeah. But I mean, like, not neutral as in, like, I view things neutrally. I mean, neutral as in, like, my life is just neutral. There's nothing ever exciting, but there's nothing ever that's too boring.
Nothing that is ever exciting.
Yeah.
Ever. Anyway, I will talk about. We can talk more about everything that happened over the break after we talk about some news.
Yeah.
Sound like a plan?
Yeah.
Cool.
5.
New Mexico compound suspects were training children for school shootings, say prosecutors.
Whoa. Submitted by, not me via Facebook.
Not you?
This was actually submitted by Jin.
Oh, okay. You're the one who sent it to me.
Yeah,
so.
he messaged me, and then I shared it to you.
Got it. Okay. So there are currently 5 suspects that have been accused of abusing 11 children at a New Mexico compound, as well as they are also accused of training them to commit school shootings.
Mm-hmm. It's pretty fucked up.
Yeah, and the only reason that they actually found out about this is because one of the foster parents of the kids, the parents of the original kid, like, essentially stole the kid back, and so they did an investigation into the whole thing, and this has been the result.
Fucking crazy. There's literally a farm made for breeding school shooters.
Yeah,
that is America.
It's a full, it's technically their home, but it's actually a full-on compound that had a shooting range and loaded firearms that were just kind of strewn about the property.
Yeah, it's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Why does that exist? Shouldn't exist.
Because people suck, bro.
Yeah, they do.
Because people are awful.
Yeah, it's too crazy.
We don't really know anything beyond that at this point in time. I imagine that those children are going to need lots of therapy, and I hope that they get it.
I hope that we don't see their names again.
Yeah, that would be fantastic. Of course, we don't see their names here because, well...
Or, maybe in a positive light. Because that's just real shitty. I'm sorry you guys had to go through that.
Go forth and do great things. Great, fantastic things.
Absolutely.
4.
Florida candidate poses with fake diploma after questions about her credentials.
This is submitted by literally a shill to our Not the Onion.
So my question is, Nathan.
Yeah.
In the age of the internet, where there is just massive amounts of information available to you with a few taps of your thumbs or a few taps on a keyboard, when it comes to the education that you received, what makes you truly believe that you would get away with it?
Yo, she didn't finish high school. What do you think she was going to fucking...
She did finish high school.
Oh, okay, so this was a college diploma?
Yeah, university. Because she claimed that she had a bachelor's
So she went to
degree.
public school. Like, what the fuck do you expect? In Florida, dude. This is Florida.
Actually, she went to which interestingly enough, so she went to Miami University in Ohio.
Yeah.
I
don't care though, because
why
she's
is Miami
from
University
Florida.
in Ohio?
She's doing things in Florida. This sounds like a Florida thing.
So this is Melissa Howard, who claimed that she graduated with a bachelor's degree from Miami University in Ohio. And now, that said, they immediately started to take question with that because this all came forth of that someone said that she had a fake diploma. And she said, no, I didn't. Look, and here's a picture of my diploma. I graduated from Miami University in Ohio. But then they took a little look at it, and basically it's a completely photoshopped diploma. And when they contacted Miami University, they were like, yeah, she went to school here, but she never finished. She didn't have a degree from us.
That just makes you look real great.
It took less than an hour for them to be like, well, that timeline doesn't line up. You have a degree in...
Since when?
Well, and her diploma says that she has a Bachelor of Science degree in marketing, which that class doesn't exist in Miami University. There's a Bachelor of Science degree in business, but that's not what the diploma says. And there's a couple other things here and there that made the inconsistencies, and then they just essentially sent an email to the university and were like, so, can you confirm or deny this? And they're like, yeah, she don't have a diploma through us. Thanks.
How very awkward.
Yeah, right?
Like, that's just super fucking awkward.
And then you get to go on that even more awkward thing of that your campaign consultant is saying that the candidate is focused on their family right now because a family member is having health problems, and they're not concerned about the fake news this morning, and then the candidate also deletes their Twitter and several posts off of Facebook.
Yeah. Yeah, that just makes you look bad.
Yeah, you're not fooling anybody.
You're not fooling literally anybody. Okay, so that's not true. She's probably fooling a lot of her constituents.
Oh, don't say that, Nathan.
If she has any left.
That's true. Well, I mean, she's not a current elected official, if that makes you feel any better.
Okay, that makes me feel loads better. Because if she was already elected, then holy fuck.
Nathan, I would be so sad.
Absolutely. Oh, excuse me. It just means how stupid people in that area are, and that doesn't surprise me because it's Florida.
Yeah.
However, if you're listening from Florida, I love you and you're smart because you're listening to us.
Thank you for your support.
Yeah.
3.
White nationalist leaders sneak out of a D.C. rally after getting surrounded by thousands of protesters.
This is submitted by Bogartsboss to our news.
So speaking of things that Nathan get fired up about, do you remember the...
Yeah, this is supposed to be like Charlottesville 2 or something.
The march in Charlottesville?
Yeah, this was supposed to be like a sequel to it.
It was literally called Unite the Right to, and it was meant to mark the 1-year anniversary of that Charlottesville hate rally that ended up having a young woman getting run over by an asshole in a Charger, which resulted in her dying. In any case, they're going to have another one. And last time, they had hundreds, I think maybe even thousands of people, and there was a huge counter march and all that kind of stuff. They sent out all the same stuff they did last year. They had roughly 20 people show up.
Yeah, and then they all ran with their tails between their legs.
And they had a full police escort, and there was thousands of protesters.
They left before their planned time.
Yeah, it was supposed to be a march from 5:30 to 9:30, and they booked it out of there at 5.
Yeah. So yeah, no, they weren't fooling anyone either.
Unite against hate.
Yeah. Well, how many counter protesters were there?
Thousands. I don't have an exact number, but
I was hoping you had the exact number. But yeah, that's literally 100 to 1.
Yeah.
You can't do anything against that. You can get beat up by 100 people.
I mean, you can realize that your cause has very little support, and you can get out.
Yeah, especially now that they're on the back pedal like crazy. These people are losing their jobs for showing up at these places.
Yeah. Stop it. Stop
people
being
just
jerks.
Take pictures of them, report it to their bosses. Their bosses are like, "Oh shit, we can't lose face because these are fucking white nationalists."
Let people be people, please.
They're wanting to let people be people, just not anywhere near them.
Yeah, well, too bad. Get over it. America's a really big place. We have lots of empty space.
Yeah,
go sit in your hole.
My thing is if you're gonna bash on everybody's safe space, why are you trying to say that America's your safe space?
Because it was theirs first, Nathan.
The entire Native American nation would like to have words with you.
They were there first, Nathan.
I mean, those guys, yeah, the Native Americans.
This is my America.
Do you have a flag?
Yeah, actually they did. They had several that they were carrying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They didn't give a fuck.
2.
They still don't give a fuck because Ajit Pai had tried to get the FCC to take a lot of the rights that Native Americans have on their reservations away from them when it comes to internet and media, and he was shut down by the court today.
Yeah, the court was like, "Yeah, no, you're not allowed to do that."
Yeah, that's their fucking. It's like we've shat on them so fucking much. It's like you're trying to continue to shit on them, you fucking dicks.
Yeah, people suck. People suck
Jesus.
a lot. In any case.
I'm not just talking about white Jesus. I'm just talking about Jesus in general.
Caribbean island of Dominica bans single-use plastic and styrofoam items effective January 2019.
This was submitted by Green Flash to Our World News.
So, in what is the next roaring movement across the world, the ban of single-use plastics, the Caribbean island of Dominica will be the next one to join that roster.
People are all upset because they're like, "Oh no, my straws are gone."
My Starbucks. What am I supposed to drink my Starbucks out of?
I can understand the point of view of the straws for people who need straws in order to drink things. People who can't move their arms, their hands, and things like that. But you don't have to use single-use straws every time. I myself carried around a silly straw for the longest while.
There is a problem that there is a very large shortage of efficient and cost-effective alternatives to single-use plastics. That's why they're so widespread, is because they're cheap
and use
and
multi-use plastics or metal straws.
Well, the problem is that there's...
metal straws are 100% better than plastic straws, and I can prove it with 1 point.
What's that?
You can chill them, and it makes your drink cold, too.
Yeah, but there's a problem with metal straws. 1, they're expensive. 2...
You pay for them once!
2, you can't drink hot drinks with a metal straw, because the straw will get hot.
Most of the time you drink hot drinks... that's fair. I guess if you need the straw, then you don't use the metal straw for that one, and you use your single-purchase, multi-use plastic straw.
The alternatives in plastic are very few, though, is the problem. Is that, like, most of the other... and I mean specifically in plastics, of a plastic that doesn't suck, essentially, because... while you can make a better straw, that it's still going to be made out of plastic, that's not good for the environment. And so
you're still reducing the amount, though.
Yeah, it's not as effective as we'd like, though.
But any little bit helps, right?
One of the other ones they were looking at is paper, but paper gets soggy and disintegrates and stuff like that. Another one is kind of like a rubber-type straw.
Rubber would work.
So, but we'll see. They're not really concerned.
There are plenty of alternatives. We just don't want to change because it's already so integrated into society.
Well, realistically, the countries don't care. They're putting the burden on the companies that are using the straws rather than offering them an alternative. It's we don't want you to use these anymore. It's no longer legal to use these. You get to figure out the solution there.
I mean, I can understand people's frustration, but it's really not that big of a deal. There are plenty of alternatives, and if you absolutely need to use straws, then there are alternatives to that. You just got to look. Well, if I can find a video game controller that I don't need to move my hands for online, then you guys can find an alternative to a plastic straw.
Well, and even beyond that, the other issue, like, while this is a good step to take, this is
licorice, for instance. Licorice is probably one of the best straws.
This is a good approach towards things. It doesn't overwhelmingly solve the problem, but it is at least a step forward. But realistically, making it where people can't use straws anymore doesn't exactly solve the pollution problem at all, since the vast majority of it is done.
Point. The point is they're not trying to solve the entirety of the pollution problem at once. They're trying to chip away at it.
Right, but I mean, the biggest problems with pollution in the world are actually come down to like 10 individual people that are in control of the companies that are the most egregious offenders of it.
Well, I mean, you gotta win your battles when you can.
I suppose, but I feel like they deflect from the actual problem a lot with these type of events.
Well, a lot of deflection does happen with these, but people got to realize that these are not cure-all fucking solutions, and that they're Band-Aids, essentially, trying to keep a dam from exploding.
1.
Kansas man gets life sentence for killing Indian engineer in a bar.
This is submitted by nirad to Our News.
So, man goes into a bar.
Mm-hmm.
Another man goes into a bar.
Sounds like a good joke so far.
No, it's a terrible joke. One man is a very racist white man. The other man is a very capable young Indian man. White man gets drunk. White man doesn't want Indian man
there. Now, are we talking about Indian from India or Native American?
Indian from India.
Okay.
White man doesn't want Indian man there. White man goes out to vehicle, gets firearm, comes back into bar, and shoots Indian man.
It's fucked up.
Pleads guilty. Is put in jail for life.
I mean, at least he understood what he did.
Yeah.
It's really shitty. And that's really unfortunate. And it was just because he was Indian?
Yes. He admitted in his guilty plea that he admitted that he tried to kill the two individuals because the guy had a friend there. The friend survived. Quote, because of their race, color, religion, and national origin.
These people are feeling emboldened and emblazed nowadays, and it's just not okay. They need to go back into their hiding and never speak about their fucking shitty-ass thoughts ever.
Yeah.
I'm Mr. Meeseeks! Look at me!
Nathan, what did you care about in the last 26 days?
I mean, you know, my brother's birthday and my uncle dying and everything.
Yeah.
I found this guy on YouTube that I really enjoy. Watched an hour video that he put out, and
What is it about?
He does these things where he goes around places and he finds foreigners and he tries to speak to them in their language. So in this one video, I watched him speak not only Cantonese but Mandarin and Schwahn dialects. He then spoke Taiwanese. He spoke Malaysian. He spoke Mongolian. He spoke Russian. He spoke Czech. He spoke Romanian. He spoke German. He spoke what other languages did he speak? He spoke a lot more, I feel like, but all in the span of an hour. Korean he spoke Japanese. I want to say he spoke French.
Like fluently?
Yeah, like having conversations with these people.
Power to that guy.
He spoke Armenian. He just goes around and he learns languages, and on his YouTube channel, he helps practice some of those languages. In addition, he does these things called level ups, where he goes around and he surprises people by speaking their language with them, Swedish language, things like that. My favorite are the Chinese ones, because they say some of the funniest shit. One of them was like, yo, you should go to China and marry a nice Chinese woman because of how well you speak Chinese.
Nice.
But his name is Lao Shu 505000. Lao Shu means like mouse in Chinese.
Interesting. All right.
So he's pretty good. I enjoy watching his videos, and they tend to be very long, like 30 minutes to an hour to 3 hours, depending. But they're pretty good. He just surprises people and have conversations with these people in these languages, and in America essentially, where they aren't expected to try and speak their language at any point.
Cool. So, there's lots that I cared about. First, Nathan, would you like to hear of the atrocity of my vacation? It was a great vacation, but man, did it have a couple rough spots.
Go for it.
So, first, my first stop was to make it from Anchorage, Alaska to Las Vegas, Nevada. And I work Tuesday, and I fly out Tuesday night, and I'll get there in Vegas at 9 o'clock in the morning. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I fly out at 8:30, I think, is when my plane was supposed to leave, or 9, something like that. Anyway, I get to Vegas, and I get to Vegas at 2 a.m. And my next flight is not until 6 a.m. See what? Oh yeah, I get to Seattle at 2 a.m. Sorry, not Vegas. I get to Seattle at 2 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
Go check out my flight. Everything's good and on time. All right, cool. I go to my gate. The gate's all set up. Cool. It's listed there on the board. Cool. Curl up and go to sleep. Set an alarm. All right. I'll wake up about 5 minutes before we're supposed to board. Start boarding. So they'll board first class, military, and people that need assistance, small children first, that kind of stuff. Well, I wake up to my alarm and I look around. There's not many people around. I'm like, wow, am I gonna have a pretty empty flight? And I look over and I notice that my flight's not on the board. So I go look at the board and I see that not only has my flight been moved to a different time, it's also been moved to a gate all the way across the airport. I've been taken from the C gate at Seattle to the North Satellite Terminal, which requires 3 train rides to get to.
3 train rides?
3. Guess who didn't make their flight?
Was it you?
Yeah, it's this guy.
Oh, I got it.
Yeah, it's this guy. So I go over to the kiosk and tell them what happened, and they rebook me for a 2 p.m. flight when it is currently 6 a.m. I was like, that sucks. That'll get me to Vegas at 5. Awful. And they put me on standby for the next flight. I actually managed to get lucky, and I get the very last seat on a 10 a.m. flight. Cool.
Fun.
Get to Vegas at 1. Go get checked into the hotel, and go upstairs and change, and then go to the RollerCon convention.
All right, so far you're doing well.
Okay. Wednesday, I mean, I'm kind of tired from traveling, but goes well. Thursday, wake up, jump into my job as a shift lead. I ended up being like a manager essentially in the mornings from about 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. And so I actually just kind of like went to work, but doing a different job while I was there and had a great time. But Thursday night, I was put onto one of the full-length bouts because there's short challenge games at RollerCon, and then there's the full-length games that normally have a larger theme. And the game that I get put onto, I requested it, so is Mad Max Fury Road versus The Matrix.
Okay,
and it's
all right.
Incredible game. Me and another incredible announcer, his name is Champ Unkind, Aaron Brooks, you're a fantastic person. We literally break every single rule of announcing, though. Like, he's like singing the Matrix theme on the microphone. You shouldn't sing on the microphone. I'm like blowing out the speakers. Both of us are thrashing our vocal cords. Witness me, shining in chrome, you know. Just like completely wrecking our voice. And so we like, get done and everyone's like, yeah, it was awesome. And then our boss is like, so I'm not gonna scold you because you did exactly what you should do for this call. But I just want you to know that you broke literally every single rule and you should be in trouble, but you're not. But then I woke up the next morning feeling like somebody had just kind of like punched me in the throat with I mean,
as you should, to be fair.
With like a rusty dagger. Like, it hurt so bad, and I just start chugging like water and throwing in cough drops and chugging honey, and I basically couldn't talk on Friday, like, at all. Saturday was fantastic. I felt great. Sunday, though, at about like 12:30, a cold just shoved its nasty everything right down every orifice in my face.
That's fucking gnarly.
Oh god, it was awful. And so like I went over to like the little like quick store and I got some like extra strength Dayquil and I'm like shoving Dayquil in my face.
But drizzling it everywhere.
But what was so bad about it is like the Dayquil started to kick in. I'm like, all right, I'm feeling okay. But it was such a severe cold that the Dayquil and the cold were just taking turns. So it's like, I'm feeling great. And then 20 minutes later, it's like, like my face would just start leaking, and I'm like, I feel awful and dreadful, and then like
I feel dreadful, yes.
And then the Dayquil would quick kick back in 15 minutes later.
You became a vampire,
and I'm like, oh, it's all right, I'm fine. 15 minutes later, oh no, and then RollerCon is over. As a note to you and anyone listening, unless you are a solo flyer that is flying very short, hoppy flights, and you do not have a checked bag where you can travel in essentially a personal item like a backpack, never, ever fly Spirit Airlines. Ever.
Just not good.
So, we had chosen to fly from Spirit to take us from Las Vegas to Houston to go visit Jennifer's family. We decided on Spirit because the tickets were $80. Super cheap. Well, they then proceeded to charge me, like, it was $15 per carry-on, $40 per checked bag. If the bag was over 40 pounds, which normally the weight limit is 50 pounds, if it's over 40 pounds, it's an additional $30. If you want to sit next to somebody, so like I wanted to sit with Jennifer on the flight, it is $17 per person to be able to sit next to one another. If you wanted a drink of water on that flight, it is $3. Normally, water is free and complimentary. Nope. Even water was $3.
That's fucking rough.
They will nickel and dime you for everything. It ended up being more expensive than the flights to and from Alaska when all was said and done.
Yeah, I do not envy you. That sounds like it is absolute shit.
So unless you are flying by yourself, flying very light, and their short flights don't fly Spirit. Like if you were like a business traveler to where you were hopping cities and it was like, you know, an hour flight and you were just had like a small bag that you just took with you with like a couple outfits in it, you know, that would work fine because then they'd be cheap, cost-effective flights. But otherwise, no, avoid them like the plague. Get to Texas, have a great time with Jennifer's family. But wait, the fun is not over, Nathan.
Yeah.
So, we are supposed to fly out of Houston to come back here to Anchorage, Alaska on Saturday. Okay? Last Saturday, not the one that just happened. And our flight is supposed to leave at 7:30 p.m. And we're supposed to get here in Anchorage at 2 a.m. So, we get there, we get through the gate and everything like that, and we're over sitting there at the gate waiting for our plane. Flight gets delayed from 7:30 to like 8:20. Whatever. No big deal. You know. Delays happen. It's only like an hour. Whatever.
Yeah, it's shit. Shit happens.
We find out that the reason it got delayed is because the plane needed to fly around a particularly nasty storm cloud. All right. Well, after they fly around the cloud, they then realize they no longer have enough fuel to safely make it to Houston. So the plane gets diverted to Shreveport, Louisiana. Now, they land in Louisiana so they can
Louisiana sucks, so this is going to be good.
They land in Louisiana so they can get more fuel, right?
Mm-hmm.
But flight crews, so the pilot, the captain, the co-captain, or the co-pilot, the flight attendants, everyone, they only get paid when the plane is in the air. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So, like, when they're, like, helping you, like, get your carry-on on the tarmac and stuff, they're not getting paid for that. But they want to help you get in and off the plane as quickly as possible so they can get back up the air so they can get paid again. Well, the problem is that there is a very specific amount of time that a pilot can fly based on federal law. Well, when they landed in Louisiana, that concluded a flight. And so now the co-pilot had not only met, but exceeded his legal number of flight hours. So he was no longer allowed to fly the plane.
That's fucking awful.
But wait, there's more.
What?
They find another pilot. However, he's a captain, and they can't have two captains as a pilot and a co-pilot, again, by regulation. So, while they have another pilot, they can't use him, because it's against the rules. So they cancel the 8:30 p.m. flight and reschedule it for 10 a.m. the next morning.
All right.
And because the original diversion because of weather, they did not offer any compensation to anyone on that plane.
That's garbage.
They didn't put them in a hotel. They didn't provide them discounts. They didn't help them at all. Zero. None. Absolutely nothing.
Why the fuck?
So, now, we're like, all right. So we come back at 8 a.m. the next morning, 2 hours before our flight. Get in the airport. But they have to recheck everyone in. They rebooked us for free, which they made it sound like that was a big deal, and I would have been really upset if they wanted to charge me for rebooking me for a flight they canceled. But anyway, so they were there at 8 a.m. and they have to recheck everyone in. So you have to go back through the kiosk, get your new boarding passes, go back through security, all that stuff. At 8 a.m., 2 hours before the flight, there is nobody at their terminal. We then get a notification that the flight has been delayed to 11 o'clock. 9 o'clock rolls around, and there is still nobody at their terminal to check anyone in. We then get we get a notification that the flight's been delayed to 11:15. And finally, at about 9:30, people start showing up to get people checked in. But wait, there's more. It keeps going, Nathan. So we go in and we get checked in, and I look at our tickets, and me and Jennifer are sitting together on the first plane from Houston to Seattle, and Bianca is 13 rows behind us by herself in the middle of a row.
Why? That is so bad.
She is listed as an under 12 traveler that is attached to my reservation. So I gesture to the attendant there, and the agent there, and I'm like, so I need this fixed. Cool, we get that fixed. We're all sitting together. They give us the boarding passes for our connecting flight in Seattle. None of us are sitting together, and Bianca not only is not sitting next to us, they have put her on a completely separate plane by herself.
You can't, like...
As an under 12 traveler.
What are you doing?
I bring this to them again, and they're like, oh! And they start like, they're like, I don't know why she's on that plane anyway. We've oversold that flight.
They do that all the fucking time.
And I'm like, you guys are geniuses.
God.
So we get that fixed up. And then, so we finally get through security, and it's like 11 o'clock. So we're heading over towards the gate. We get a notification that the flight's been delayed from 11:15 to 12:20. Okay. So we're hanging out. We're waiting. About 12 o'clock rolls around, and we get a notification that the flight has been delayed from 12:20 to 12:58. Go look over at the gate. The plane isn't even there yet. The plane shows up at 12:30 p.m. on Sunday. We were supposed to be home at this point 10 hours ago.
What the fuck?
They get us boarded.
How do you fuck this up so fucking bad?
But wait, there's more. They get us boarded, and we get in the plane, and the plane finally takes off at 1:20 p.m. But wait, there's more. The plane that we are on, that was the plane we were originally supposed to be on at 7:30 the previous evening, had flown from Seattle and was supposed to land in Houston. It was also acting as a cargo flight for a vendor, and had 78 cases, or 4,300 pounds, of what was frozen salmon in the cargo hold.
Yo!
But when they landed in Louisiana, it's not cold on the ground. Because, you know, it's cold 20,000 feet up, so it'll stay frozen, no big deal. And they're supposed to land it, unload it in Houston. Well, they landed in Louisiana from getting redirected. The plane did not get taken back off, and they did not unload the 4,300 pounds of frozen fish. So it sat
fucking gross
in the hot Louisiana night, and then in the hot Louisiana sun the next day. And they did not unload it before they brought it to us. And they did not unload it before we took off to Seattle.
Oh,
so
man.
We had 4,300 pounds of thawed, nasty, stank fish right underneath our seats. The whole plane just ranked of fish. But wait, Nathan, there's more.
How?
They were in such a hurry to get us loaded on that plane and to get the plane off the ground and headed towards Seattle, which is a 4.5 hour flight from Houston to Seattle. They were in such a hurry that they forgot to restock food. There was no food on a 4.5 hour flight.
How?
Because people are a special kind of stupid.
How?
In any case, we landed in Seattle, got onto our connecting flight. That connecting flight was awesome. It's the normal service that I expect from Alaska Airlines. They took care of us. We told them our story, and they're like, cool, we got you this free food, these free drinks, here's some free this. And I was like, yeah, thank you for making me feel better. And then I called customer service a little bit later because I had to call them on Monday, and they're like, we'll get you taken care of. They got me some really nice discount vouchers. So, like, I just think the Alaska Airlines crew in Houston, because, like, their little terminal was literally 2 itty-bitty desks stuck in a corner. I think they just had, like, no idea what they were doing. Because normally Alaska Airlines is super good, and we use them all the time, especially because there's, like, no one better to use when you're flying out of Alaska. But that was one of the worst experiences I ever had. But luckily, both the flight crew on the way from Seattle to Alaska made us feel a lot better. Customer service did the best they could to make us feel better. But Jesus, that was impressively bad.
Yeah, I don't think I've heard of a worse one unless you get punched in the face and forcibly dragged down the aisle.
Yeah, I know that. I mean, you know, even then, it might be a little bit of a toss-up.
Yeah.
So the only other thing I cared about is after endless recommendations from you, me and Jennifer have decided to begin watching My Hero Academia.
Yeah, finally. Good fucking God.
And it is a fantastic show. We are enjoying it a lot. We are a little over halfway through season 2. we'll probably be completely caught up in like a week because we cram lots of episodes every night. So, but it is a fantastic show that I recommend to everyone. It is absolutely incredible.
I'm watching a recommendation as well.
What's that?
And it's a much older show.
Which is?
I'm finally watching Great Teacher Onizuka.
Oh, okay.
And that show's fucking hilarious. Doesn't translate well into nowadays because, you know, he hits on high schoolers vehemently as a 22-year-old. It's kind of weird. But it's fucking hilarious because of their reaction faces. It's pretty top tier.
All right. In any case, let's go ahead and get out of here, everybody. Please remember, if you want to pick up this Puns Are Us shirt, there's no limited time. And like when you go to the website, it's like, you have 1 day left to buy this. That's Teespring just trying to get you to impulse buy. If you can't afford it right now, don't worry about it. Buy it next week or the week after or next month or whenever it is that you are interested in picking it up for yourself. But that Puns Are Us shirt is available for you, and the links in the description below, regardless of where you are listening or watching this video, or listening to the audio only. If you are listening to our audio only versions, which are available on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, and anywhere else podcasts are found. If you're looking for more ways to help us grow, help support us, you can support us financially either by picking yourself up a shirt or by supporting us on Patreon, patreon.com/dailyinternet. Leaving us 5-star reviews on those audio only platforms helps us as well. And then, of course, following and sharing us on social media such as Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, all of those are at iReaditCast. So give those a shot if you would like to help us. Otherwise, that is it, everybody. We are back. We'll be back to our regular schedule, especially now that things seem to be working properly, of Monday through Thursday, going live at 6 p.m. Alaska time, 7 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific, 10 p.m. Eastern. Yeah, I can do math sometimes. I know 1 + 1 + 3 is real hard.
Yeah, and you have to be pretty specific about those.
That's real.
It's a pun.
In any case, all right. That's it, everybody. That's your 501st dose of the internet. I'm Michael Schwahn.
And I'm Schwahn de Chatatheim.
And please remember, everybody.
Well, I didn't vote for you.
Goodbye.
Bye.